Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Good morning, Southern Fried Podcast fans, and all you people out there, Cornbread Nation. We're glad you're out here this morning. All of our bread heads, and all of our fried heads, and Dave's big head, and it's a beautiful hump day morning. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. I have to have a big head to carry around all that intelligence that I have. So, not really. Just a big head.
No, you did not open the door up for me like that this early in the show. No, you didn't. Go ahead.
I was just thinking this morning, I was trying to get a package open, and it's a good thing I'm an honest guy. I don't steal, because I was thinking, I don't know how thieves get in stuff out of packaging in stores. I've been sitting here fighting with it for 10 minutes. I'm going to put it to the side till after the show. My goodness.
Well,
I'm definitely not a thief.
I want to give a quick shout out this morning to all the people that I offended this whole year in 2024. All the folks that I've offended, and I've said the wrong thing to. Sorry. If y'all work on bettering yourselves, we won't have this same problem next year. I would appreciate it. Oh, come on. That's all in jest. It's all in fun. Don't be over shaking your head and getting that little look on your face.
Oh, it's just too early sometimes sometimes you have to get good and woke up and put your game face on before you meet certain challenges of the day. Some days I fail to do that before I come on the air and meet you.
Are you calling me a challenge?
Only your humor. Some days you're funny, and then, well, there's today.
Oh,
that was a low blow.
That was very low. And in fact, if you're gonna go that low, I'm gonna talk about the other thing I want to talk about right off the bat this morning. I'm gonna get up on my soapbox. How about that? You can even join me on the soapbox. It's probably gonna be room.
The Robert soapbox.
Yep.
It's the Robin Dave maybe soapbox. I don't know what you're on soapbox about. I have to wait and see.
Well, for some time we've been reporting on this monkey farm that they're trying to put in here in Bainbridge, Georgia. Well, let me expound upon the current situations. Safer Human Medicine stepped in and trying to block the Court of Appeals from hearing the case where they're appealing the $300 million bond that they got in for it. And as per WALB, who reported on it this morning or yesterday, the Development Council Authority or whatever here in Bainbridge has voted out on the side of Safer Human Medicine. Now, the DA and stuff are still planning on pushing the case through. This doesn't help. May not hurt.
Wait, Rob, before you go to the next part, I think I heard a lot of boos coming from the whole South Georgia area, especially Bainbridge. I heard it all the way up here as you said that.
Okay. I wasn't done expounding on that. I'm going to get to the boo part. I don't know of hardly anybody in Bainbridge that is for this facility. This person is trying to force a business down our throats that we don't want. I don't live in Decatur County or Bainbridge. I do live in the neighboring county. This has too many downsides for the limited amount of upside. And, they say follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Well, let's follow the money on this, okay? Y'all look, see who's getting what, and follow the money. That's all I can tell you. This is ridiculous. They're absolutely ignoring the citizens of the county, and they're gonna and this guy is helping to ramrod this company down their throats, and something they don't want. The potential for hazardous waste disposal of hazardous waste getting in the river and everything else. Come on, people.
Yep.
Get no monkey farm signs. Get them up. Get them out. Let everybody know where we stand. Let's see a sea of red out there, and people fly over Bainbridge. What is all that red stuff? Well, that's no monkey signs. Let's get them up. There's too much downside to this, and
That's right.
the upside for it is for a very limited amount of people. So, and if it affects one part of this state, it can affect the entire state economically and everything else.
Well, we should stand together as citizens of a state, or even across the United States. When there's a wrong, it doesn't matter if we live in that area or not.
Yeah.
I had people up here when I first mentioned it up here said, "Oh, that thing's already been built." I said, "No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't been built." I said, "That's the fight going on," and they just already took it for granted that it had been built. Like, no, there's still a fight here. Let's get moving on this.
Yeah.
So and what I told people was up here is, or what I posted with it was, imagine if this was your town, and how would you feel about it? Let's stand with them. And just the fact of, if you love animals, which most people do, most people are not. When you get into to what they do, when you start peeling that onion back and you start really looking at what happens or will happen to these, not at that facility, but where they're sold to, it really turns your stomach. I mean,
and let's look at some of the facilities that the people that are going to be running this thing have previously ran.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the Beagle fiasco? Yeah. Where they came in and out, violation of animal cruelty, violations of the Clean Water Act. And they're going to bring this. These are the same people that are over this company coming to Bainbridge. And why? Did we not learn nothing from the previous fiasco?
And when they say there's absolutely no chance of the monkeys escaping, well, they can't guarantee that, because we saw that story fall apart for another company's facility in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So things can happen. So
to the Development Authority and Safer Human Medicine, who I did reach out to, they responded, and they wanted a list of questions. I sent them, and I have not heard a peep back yet.
And we hope to. We definitely would enjoy the conversation.
If they don't want to respond to it, we're going to do a special show, and I'm going to have some local people address the questions that they won't answer.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, people want to know. It's ridiculous.
I know there was a council meeting last night. I didn't get to see the gist of what happened in that meeting, but I know at 6:30 last night there was a city council meeting in Bainbridge. So I haven't had a chance to look at that. I think Miss Leanne posted that in their Facebook.
That was it. On the WALB site, they actually have both sets of court documents posted for review. So that I found that to be interesting. But
well, at least they're putting it out there for people on both sides. That's what news should be.
Yeah.
Point, counterpoint. And then you can debate, what your investigation revealed. There used to be a really good a set of people across the country that were really good investigative reporters. There's probably still some left, but it's nothing like it used to be.
No.
Nowadays, it's just all clip and post, and news departments are smaller than they used to be, and if anybody is become that now, it's podcasters.
Yeah.
Across different streams that are dive in and actually get the story and reach out and try to get. I mean, like the old days, like they'd have the pad and the pen, and the reporter would go out and they'd be making phone calls and knocking on doors and working sources. That's what podcasters do now. They'll contact people. If they can't get this person, they'll go to another person, and they just keep working their sources and trying to get and looking through, even following Freedom of Information Acts. I know podcasts that have become pretty good sized, and they work that angle and have revealed even like people in jail that's awaiting trial for murder, some of the tapes and stuff, their courthouse, their jailhouse phone calls and stuff. I've listened to podcasts that have played endless hours of that stuff, getting the story out of what people have said from jail and everything, So I think podcasters, especially those on the news side of things, they've become really the investigative reporter. They do a better job in the news organizations.
Yeah.
And really, honestly, Rob, we probably have mentioned this more on our program than any news channel or paper or anything out down in South Georgia or North Florida. I would say, even since this thing, we got into it kind of late in the game. I would bet that if you counted up the on-time amount of airtime that we have covered this, at least us talking about it or guests we've had on, we probably have spent more time on it now than
probably
anybody has. And we're continuing to do that, and we're going to do that even this weekend. So,
yeah. Well, they violated the Open Meetings Act anyway. This should have been laid out long beforehand. Instead, they went behind closed doors to do this. That shows a certain area of something ain't right and something stinky in the works anyway.
Yeah.
So shame on y'all. Yeah. Shame on the Development Authority in Bainbridge. I'll say it.
Well, again, it's you want to bring jobs in. Every development authority wants to bring jobs in, but you gotta what kind of jobs, and what kind of how much have you sold the community out, their taxes and everything? That's all got to be taken into consideration. Every community, every city has these days, the whole tax abatement and all that stuff has become that's been going on for a long time. And, to try to lure business their way. But you got to see benefit from this, not just jobs. They want to mention those jobs a lot. I get it. Jobs, somebody's making money. They can go to work. They're paying taxes in, but the community is suffering because they don't see a full return on it. It's a give and take. It's a light side, dark side. And it's that part that nobody wants to talk about it. And they just say, they have a big shovel picture out there, video of a company coming in. But if you have sold out the taxpayers for the next 20 or 30 years, then, they're the people that are alive that are, say, 50, 60 years old, they're going to see no benefit out of that other than maybe somebody in their family get a job there, but they're not going to see a benefit toward them for that. And I get having a business in an area, they spend money in the local community. We all understand that. But this one has just, they don't want it. They don't want the thing. It's bad publicity. Yeah. It has, PETA's been in town and led rallies. They have led court challenges and,
they've got
billboards up. You got a small army of people. And I don't mean small in the bad. I'm just saying there's an army of people that have assembled, and sometimes that's different sizes. It may be a handful, then it may be hundreds, depending on how many are coming together at any point in time to oppose this thing. And so, but their attitude is Save for Human Medicine, and you can go look at that. They were interviewed on one of the channels down there, and I think it was it might have been Tallahassee. I don't remember, but that was, I had to turn that thing off 3 times, man. And just my blood,
so
condescending towards South Georgians. And what kind of a standard of living do y'all have there? We're going to raise up your standard of living, and what kind of jobs y'all got there? It's basically like, it was almost like, we're helping you out here. You need to just sit down, be quiet. We're doing you a favor. We're doing things better for you. Y'all are the poor, downtrodden, farming community. We're helping you. That's the way I took it, and I don't even live there.
And the way I took it was, we're going to do it just as good for you as we did with the folks around the Beagle farm. You know.
Well, and I would just say, lastly, they said this, and I'm paraphrasing it. They said we're not concerned about. Basically, they weren't concerned about any of this. That facility, and they're from their own mouths, and you can go watch that interview that was done with us. They said it will be built. It will be. So that's fairly cocky right there. That's what that is that's a company that has a lot of money to throw around, and they're throwing a lot of lawyers at it, and they figure they'll outlast a community of volunteers who are putting their own time and money into it, and they figure if this thing goes on, those people will just give up, and it'll be only a small handful. And I think they're sadly mistaken in this case. I think they're sadly mistaken. I don't think that's going to happen.
They don't realize the stubbornness of the people involved in this down here in South Georgia. Y'all just don't know. If y'all knew, y'all be running away screaming, begging for mercy already. They don't throw shoes down here. They say the mouth is as mighty as a sword or whatever. Oh, y'all go get sorted up. Not only that, but they're going to hurt your feelings too. Bad. So, y'all enjoy. Y'all asked for, what was that in that Reacher show, in the Reacher movie with Tom Cruise, and the guy goes out there and all the guys are going to whoop him, and he stayed up there, he said, all right, so this is the way it's going to go down. Let's do this. And remember, you asked for this.
Yeah.
And Dave McCaskill, shame on you. Shame on you. That is the development authority guy, the man on the monkey farm.
Follow the money. Just keep following the money.
Keep following it.
Because that's who's all got their hands in. I mean, that's like Ukraine. Follow the money. Who's getting it?
Yep.
They want you to think about the poor, and I feel for them, the soldier on the front line, the people of Ukraine. Pay attention to the people at the top.
The money's going.
On both on the many sides, not just in Ukraine, but back here in America, the military industrial complex. Just follow the money as these things open up. Just watch who gets rich off this thing, while while Ukrainian soldiers are dying. I think when President-elect Donald J. Trump gets in, I think this is going to come to a resolution. Best that he can arrange. I'm pretty sure he has put out the word. I mean, they as much have said they're trying to work on a way to end this thing, and that Zelensky he's come to the realization there's going to have to be some land that he's just not going to have control of. I mean, and we may not like that, and that you may think that's horrible, and it is, but what's worse, losing a little bit of land or the continual slaughter of your people, and the continued escalation of this is the continual risk of nuclear war.
Yeah.
And at World War III. I mean, you kind of poke that bear a lot, and you didn't like what you got, but I kind of think those things are done on purpose anyway.
Yeah.
I think they knew exactly what would happen. I think, and Zelensky was chosen to be that guy, to manipulate this this issue. So, it's just follow the money though. But yeah.
Good morning, Ezra.
Ezra 5. I like the name from Twitch. Good to have you here this morning. Are you probably a gamer? Are you a gamer? I was listening to, there's others that, heck yeah, what games you play, man, or lady. I'm sorry. Tezra could be different thing, but what games you play? or
If you
game.
say Pac-Man, I'm going to jump up and down.
I doubt seriously it's Pac-Man. Everything.
Oh, we're just doing our little show this morning. Talk about the monkey farm. We farm monkeys down here in South Georgia.
We're old gamers. We played. Well, Rob still plays some, but we played a long time ago. Yeah. Back in the day when you had to top out the early days, you had to top out your responses. You know,
yeah.
And by the time you got it topped out, you were dead.
Yeah,
it's like kill the monster. Don't let that. Exactly. You never got it all the way out. It's like, since Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Memorial Day. We're not even a year old yet. As far as our platform, our podcast.
Just to let folks know, since Memorial Day, we've topped 17,000 followers total throughout our stream.
Over 600 videos of different sizes and lengths that we have done in that time. We're going to be approaching 1,000 different videos, I think, by the time our year anniversary. We're going to plan a big celebration, Rob. The 1 year, the birthday of the podcast. We'll have to do that. We're both from Georgia. I'm in North Georgia, and he is in South Georgia, extreme. Like I'm almost in Tennessee, and he's almost in Florida, but we're still in Georgia.
Yeah.
So what part of California? God bless all the folks in California. It's a beautiful state. It's a shame that certain elements have ruined it politically and taxed the people to death out there. But California is a beautiful, beautiful state. Has a lot to offer. Southern California, yeah. I think of the Eagles when I think of Southern California. I do. Beautiful.
Why do you think of the Philadelphia Eagles when you think about Southern California? Oh, wait, you meant okay.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. No, I think about some of the great songs that were written about Ventura Highway and stuff like that. It's a lot of songs written in Cali.
Yes.
Cali, as they call it.
No, Beaver Eagles. What the? Oh, that's Cook. Good morning, Cook.
Good morning, Cook. Love you, man. You know you love the Eagles. We celebrate as a family, and we celebrate as Christians. We celebrate the birth of the Savior. Mine is to spend with family. We have traditions. And by the way, I don't know. It's a good question, and we're going to have a Christmas special, but we celebrate on Christmas morning. Some do Christmas Eve. We do allow one present on Christmas Eve, and everything is Christmas morning. We'll have some dinner. We'll open presents. We'll watch football. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll tell the Christmas story from the Bible, and we'll just spend good quality time together.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully see great friends like Cook. And it's on Wednesday, interestingly. Christmas is on Wednesday, right? And okay. Yeah. Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. How long were you born in Cali, or did you come to Cali from Mexico? You never. Just interesting. I always like to know. I've been to Mexico. I did a missions trip there back in 2007. We based out of Mexico City, but we went to Texcoco and some other places around and about and ministered. By the way, Rob, I don't know if you'll ever get to Mexico, but if you ever get to Mexico, there's go to Chapultepec and go to the Mexican National Museum, which used to be the leader's mansion up there. It's a beautiful location. You can see forever. And by the way, Mexico City is it's like, if you take in all the surrounding areas, I think it's something like 22 million people or something.
Oh, wow.
It's just people everywhere. It's a very, very big city. But that if you go down there, when the he was born in Cali, parents did all the hard work. Amen. When you go there, and in 1846 to 8, I think that was the Mexican and United States War. When you get to that spot, that was basically where it ended. And you had in the American military that were there that had fought in Mexico, you had people like Stonewall Jackson, you had Robert E. Lee, you had I think Ulysses S. Grant. All these were West Pointers that were in the military that went down there and fought together. They were on the same side. And the red stripe on the Marines' pants, if I remember right, was because of how many Marines lost their lives on that going up that hill.
Wow.
It was like a 90% kill rate, man. I mean, it was bad. And the last 5, if I believe it is, if I hope my memory's right, the last 5 Mexican defenders wrapped themselves in the Mexican flag and jumped to their deaths. They didn't want the flag to be taken like that, so they just jumped to their death. There's a lot of history there, though. A lot of history. It's beautiful. It's a heck of a climb. We walked it. Whoa, I was wore out after that. And then we went out and did ministry. But amen. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask Tezra if what things in California are affecting you? Is it pricing? Is it taxes? Is it or is that where you're at? Is it not so bad? I'm just curious. I know that a lot of people have fled California for tax-free states, no state tax, because of they're just tired of fighting the high cost. I mean, real estate's very high in California, and I'd say in most places. I was just curious.
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living?
Well,
I work in manufacturing. I'm a training manager. Rob has always been a meat cutter and other things.
And good looking.
And good. That one.
That's not very nice.
Welcome to all those that have come in the Instagram part of this. You can see I flip over and check for comments. If you do that, we'll place them in the chat on this side of the wall and make sure those are seen. We do see you, and we appreciate you very, very much. And you're up early. They're 3 hours behind us or so. Chezer's up in the middle of the night playing games and stumbled upon this this bunch of folk.
Let's see.
Awesome. Yeah, you do learn to live wherever you're at. But Grandpa took care of the family. Yeah. Got up on that real estate, and it never goes down in value. Real estate only goes up. Just turned 19 in college. Awesome. I hope you're probably about midway or just a sophomore, maybe. Could start a little earlier. Could even be a junior, but probably sophomore. And what's your major? What are you taking? I went back to college online late in life. I have student debt, and I'm paying my student debt. I just sent a payment off day before yesterday, I think it was. So I'm paying off my own student debt. I'm an old guy, and I'm going to try to double up on that and get her done quicker. I can't wait till I'll be dead. My wife will be dead. But let's see.
Business administration.
But I resell for a living. Good for you. And by the way, that degree can be, that's wise. That is one of the smartest things to do. And that degree can be used in any way, in every way. Yeah, that kind of degree will get you a job just about anywhere. Some people go, Rob, they go get degrees and they get a degree they can't use. And they'll have $100,000, $150,000 worth of student debt, and they have a degree, and they end up working at a Walmart or something, changing tires.
They got $150,000 of student debt and got a degree in basket weaving.
I mean, some people go to college and they keep changing their majors. They can't figure out what they want to do, and they try to stay forever. They enjoy the college life. I mean, University of Georgia, they had to start kicking people out. There were people that wanted to. And they didn't want to leave the college life. They'd been there 7 or 8 years. People trying to get in. There's a lot of people can't get in Georgia that won't in. They started putting requirements on these people to be out after a certain amount of time, unless you were going for a master's or your doctorate or, something like that. But I guess they were the Tommy boy. Just, of course, he was a failing, but, just enjoyed partying. I mean, they just stay around college.
Yeah. So, as his mom works in public health, so we're done in college, just step right into a job.
There you go. I like somebody that has a plan, and that is very wise.
Now, look, just for the record,
you got great parents. I can tell they've raised you to be very wise. Go ahead, Rob.
If it falls through, just remember the best laid plans of mice and men can fail. So if it falls through, keep your chin up. There'll be something else out there. With that kind of degree, you'll find something. If it don't go right according to plan, keep your head up. You got this. Keep
going. Yeah, and thanks for bettering yourself, and you'll be one of those that's paying into the system. I mean, we need more and more people. I mean, there's so many people that are not paying in the system that take from the country. That's why the Social Security is drying up. We need workers paying into the system.
Yes.
It used to be when Social Security started, it was like 7 workers for every person drawing out. And of course, the government just took all that money and, spent it and stole it. They say it, they stole it. I mean, that's what they do. They never really funded it. It just took the money that was earmarked for it, and they had to keep having to borrow money to put into it. But now it's like 3 to 1. In some cases, there's a fair it's going to be 2 to 1. You can't sustain a system like that. It's in trouble. They've got to fix it.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll get it fixed over the next 4 years and if it goes right, we'll have 4 years of Trump, but then we could have maybe 4 or 8 years of Vance.
Well, we hope a great economy, inflation down, and start straightening out, balance the budget. It's just like at home. You have to say no to some things. You just can't keep giving everybody what they want. We can't go. Why are we going deeper in debt to help people that around the world and these people that hate us, terror groups and stuff? It always amazes me. We hurt ourselves to throw money at these people, and it never gets to the people there. It's always taken by these corrupt leaders, dictators, evil people. In many cases, in some cases it's been used right, but in many cases it's just stolen. And we're going deeper in debt, and our great grandchildren are going to be paying on that debt. For the decisions made today. Biggest county in America, which is something I've ever realized. Wow. Okay. Wow. I didn't know that, but okay. Well, interesting. It's good to know about where you live.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well,
God bless Grandpa. Again, Grandpa was smart, Rob, buying up that real estate. Man, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong getting into real estate. I knew a guy once, he told me he had a chance to buy a small postage stamp house and property in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You get this, Rob, right there, right off the main drag of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You know the area well.
Yeah.
$22,000. And he decided not to do it, and he's kicked himself ever since. Can you imagine what that property is probably worth right now? It don't go down, and that area has just exploded. So,
Yeah, it would definitely still be standing there if I had bought it, because I'd be waiting for it to go on up some more.
Awesome. Well, you take after Grandpa and hustle, make that money and become rich, live that American dream. I love it. Yeah. And somewhere Grandpa'd be smiling. There you go. Yeah. That's my grandkid. Yeah. Chip off the old block.
Yeah.
Do that hustle. I love it.
While you're out there hustling yourself into a church somewhere too. Don't forget who made all this possible for you.
I have tried to figure out baby boy, he's a hustler and a bustler, and he's a horse trader, and I'm trying to figure out where he got it. It's not me and my dad. It wasn't him. It wasn't his great grandfather. He wasn't really like that. There's hard working, farming, manufacturing people, and it must be on my mom's side. It has to come down through there, because I never met her dad. He was a bricklayer, but he was kind of a unique guy, and or somebody. But I have no idea where his mama's side. Do what?
It may have come off his mama's side.
Man, you're going to get me in trouble this morning. But
Yeah, I mean, it could have. I'm just saying he's got two parents. If you don't think it came from your side, that only leaves one side left for it to come from.
well,
On,
maybe.
Open mouth, insert foot. Come on.
I'm gonna behave here, man. I never know who's watching. You know, I could say something here's a joke, and next thing I know, I got a whole side of the family bad at me.
If you're scared, say scared.
Awesome, Tesra. That's cool to be able to do that, and you know,
he's just gonna skip over me like that.
I was just trying to give,
okay.
Pay attention to our person in here, our guest in here in the chat.
Yes,
what did you say? What did you say? I'll go for it. I'm not avoiding it. What did you say?
If you're scared, say scared.
I'm not scared.
Okay, let's hear it.
A lot of her side of the family, at least one side, her mom's side, they all came from Alabama. Now, do you want me to go any further?
Yeah.
Down around Hollywood, Alabama.
Y'all got a 5.5 hour drive today. Y'all got to give y'all something to talk about. It's my gift to you.
Nothing against Alabama, but I just don't know that they were that kind of hustler. I mean, you know, they were hardworking, industrious people, but I don't see it. You know, I mean, he's like Diamond Jim or something. I mean, now sometimes his plans fall through, but he's like a cat. He lands on his feet. He really does. He lands on his feet. I just shake my head at him. Now, I could never keep up with him. He was I do think he takes after his mom's side. I really do. I just don't know who it is. I've always said that. I said Jeremy is my son, is like me and my dad, my grandpa. He's like that side of the family. Baby boy, it's all mom. It is. I don't know if it's from the dad's side though or mom's side. I don't know. Her dad died when she was very young. Yeah. I mean, I met some of the family, sisters and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. Yes. But he's just wide open. I can't, there's no flies on him. I mean, he keeps on the move.
Yeah. So that's the way the rest of his mom's family is, right? They keep on the move and keep going, and no flies land on them. And
well, not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Where does your wife fall in this category?
Y'all
gonna have lots to talk about, huh?
She's a diamond in the rough. No.
Oh, you went there. Oh. No. Yeah. You hear that, Lynn? He called you a diamond in the rough. I wouldn't take that from him. I'd chew him out all the way down to South Georgia.
She's still asleep. She got into bed late trying to get things done before we leave. I'm like, it's like 11:30. I'm like, you do realize that we have a long trip. Like, you might want to go to bed. It's like one of those Geico commercials or something. A voice from above comes in.
If you have a 4.5 to 5.5 hour drive tomorrow, you might could save on sleep by going to bed now.
Of course, she'll sleep on the way, and she's not going to be driving any at all. But all
right, so who's driving? You and Kaylee?
No, me and Jeremy. She'll ride with Jeremy. I'm sure Kaylee has claimed the front seat in the car with me.
Okay. So, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many folks we got coming this time? 4 or 5?
Let's see. 7. I think it is
7.
I think 6, 7. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, 6. I believe. I thought it was going to be 7. 6. Okay.
Well,
three adults and 3 kids.
If you're still out there, you got to make it down next time.
I know. I hate it.
We understand life happens.
Two cars. I'm not traveling like that. No, we're taking 2 cars. It is more money with gas and stuff, but it's worth it,
Yeah. But just stretch your feet out.
Well, I'm gonna be in the truck, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're gonna bring that truck down here, aren't you? You're gonna be driving, styling, and profiling. What's Jeremy gonna be driving?
His
Please
car.
say it, Pinto. Huh?
His car. Oh, his
car.
car is it's a Kia. What is that? Forte.
Okay.
It's pretty roomy. I don't
Yeah.
like it because it sits. I mean, I like it, but I don't like getting in and out of it because it sits lower to the ground.
Yes,
So, you
I
know.
don't like that.
Let's run a couple of quick things before we get our show over with. I got busy the other night, and sometimes you get talking, you forget all this stuff. But let's do a couple of our affiliates anyway.
I got time
Rob.
to go grab me a cup of coffee while you do that.
Well, I can probably make that happen if you be nice, you know.
Okay, I'm trying to be nice. Lynn?
Hey, folks, Dave in the AM here with the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. For many weeks now, me and Rob have been telling you about our affiliation with Dubby Energy Drinks. I've been drinking some of them on the show, and I just got in today the powder version, and this is the Palm Blom version of this. And hey, I tell you that it gives you the focus and the energy without the jitters or the crash. There's no sugars, no fillers, no artificial dyes. So get you some Dubby today. Use the promo code Southern Fried, and you'll get 10% off each and every order. Not only can you get the energy drinks, but you can also get some cool merch items. In fact, soon we're going to have a hat to show you as an example of some of those things. There's shirts and other things you can get as well as containers to mix up the powder and the water into that you can carry with you. We appreciate your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and also of Dubby Energy Drinks. We'll see you again soon. Take care. All right. Well, also Mammoth Nation, we're affiliated with. If you hear any sounds, it's the coffee brewing in the background. But we do our vendor spotlight. This is one we did last week, 1776 United. Great. Love these American-made and for America, good conservative companies and trying to help them out. You go through Mammoth Nation, become a follower, a member of Mammoth Nation. You get all kinds of discounts. Go through their site, then go to the vendor sites, and you get all these great discounts and stuff. And I ordered from them. Then this week, we're highlighting God's Country Camo. And they can put this camo on many different things. You go there and look. And of course, I like the symbol, the crosses and different things. If into that, some people don't like that, but I love it. I think it looks good. I like the camo. I'm going to have to look on there. I'm going to try to buy from every vendor that we spotlight for a week. So this is our vendor we're spotlighting this week. Mammoth Nation is great. I'm a lifetime member. I had the money. I just went ahead and did it. It's half off right now. It's $250. You say that's a lot of money. You're going to make that easily back in the first year or two with the savings you're going to make the more you use Mammoth Nation. But that's $125 right now. But you can do it for as low as $5 a month if that's not in your budget. And I understand that. I think Rob is a member at $5 a month. Rob, it's a great organization. I love Mammoth Nation.
Yes. And the money that you spend like on the membership, I got the $10 a month one, but it goes to conservative causes. It doesn't go into the woke disasters. So, and if you're going to support a company, you want to support a company that coincides with your beliefs. A lot of these big boxes, retailers, you go in, you spend your money, and then they donate millions and all this stuff to the woke causes and stuff like that. But if Mammoth Nation, they put America first, and you vote with your wallet.
Yeah. Use the QR code there on the screen, and you'll also be helping the Southern Fried Podcast. We appreciate it. And a quick shout out to our friend Steve at the blacksmith, the Celtic blacksmith at Half Pine Forge. Great videos on Rumble. Great friend of the program, and give him some business. And he's a cool guy. Got some great videos. Hardworking, great American, and he's fun to cut up with. He comes on our show sometimes. He comes in our chats, and we're trying to help him build his followers too. Go to Rumble, give him a follow, watch some of his videos. You'll be hooked just like we are. and
Yes.
he's growing every day and doing more and more things, and we appreciate him. Steve at Half Pine Forge,
Yes.
and we're back.
So
I just want to say on
Ezra,
Dubby real quick, just real quick, Dubby Energy, the Southern Fried, and in that ad I mentioned the hat. This is the hat. I'd ordered this hat, and this is a Dubby hat, and it's sometimes they'll put out merch, and you get like there's only make so many of them. And I was sitting there one day, and they sent me an email, and it was this hat. It was a new one, new design, and it was one of 200, or they're only going to make 200, so you get one of 200. And I thought, I'm going to order that and advertise on the show with it. And then if you look at the back, it says one of 200. And so they made 200 of them. Apparently they do this from time to time, but I drink their energy drinks, but I use the powder now. I have used the can, but I use the powder. I think that's mainly what they're pushing, the packs. And you could also get them in the containers. And I've got one sitting right here. I think I moved it in the other room, but it's great. It really is. And it doesn't give you the jitters. I can testify to that, and you don't have the crash. It's true, absolutely true. We use the products that we put on here, and I'm telling you, it works. I'll have one. It replaces if you drink one like a 20-ounce bottle, you put it in there. It's basically like 2 cups of coffee. So if you're on the go and you don't have time to stop for coffee, which I like coffee too, use your Dubby. So it's great. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Got a couple things from our friend Tezra. Best viewers on steamboo.com. Remove the space. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And then my Jeep Cherokee went to the shop before. I can put that on the screen. Would deserve the screen. Jeep Cherokee went to the shop before Thanksgiving, but then got out and went back in on. And there's another issue that's been sitting in the. You know what? Those are great vehicles. My sister. Her husband had one of those, and unfortunately they had a lot of problems with it too. They're great to drive. I love riding in it. They sit up good. There's a lot of features I like, but there is problems in some years of the Jeep Cherokee, Rob. I don't know if you're familiar with that or ever been around them, but I've heard this more than once. The breakdowns are a problem. So just depending on whatever it is, and then, hopefully you got a good mechanic.
Yeah. Well, if you could have any vehicle out there in the world, Ezra, would you get one of those new electric truck things that Elon Musk has put out that looks like something off of a space show or something?
I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm glad you brought that up. And I was talking to my HR manager about these electric vehicles, and he was saying he wouldn't have one. But in Chattanooga, I believe it was, there was an apartment fire, and they said it was caused by an electric vehicle. This has become a real deal. They don't want to talk about it, but these fires are a bad deal. And what if you get trapped in that thing? I mean, these things go up, man, and you just don't put that fire out quick. You don't.
Ezra would hate having to charge it. There's Steve this morning. Well, Ezra, looks like you and Steve have something in common with the
wow
Grand Cherokee. The caliper. Oh.
Man. Again, there's just issues there. I don't understand it, but
I figured you'd bought a Ford Escort.
No, Ford. The soccer mom truck. I love it.
I could also see you, Steve, in a Yugo, but it'd have to be a 4-door, so it'd be a WeGo.
No, man, that thing was so little. Steve's head would be sticking out the top.
It looked like Red Flintstone.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't know about the update, but I could see that happening. That would shut down all the while it's updating. That would shut down all the ability for things to work. That's the problem with these things. I mean, they've got to fix all this stuff before Americans en masse are going to go to them. You imagine being stuck in there. It'd be like episode of Cops where they steal the car and they're locked in. Updating. He's never walked back. I love it.
Another way you and I are like, oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Oh my goodness. It does sound scary.
100-degree weather. Yeah, that don't sound good.
I
when
would
it's
be
updated,
breaking.
the air conditioning don't work. I guess.
I'd be breaking a window, man. I would. Wouldn't you freak out if you were stuck in a car and like that?
Man, that would be almost like Kit from Knight Rider.
Yeah.
You know, he never had to update though.
He just told him, he just told him what he was doing though.
Yeah. Yeah. And had missiles and guns.
That's cool.
My dream car, my absolute dream car would be Kit from Knight Rider. If I'm gonna dream, I'm dreaming big.
Dream car for
I'm
me.
epileptic. I can't drive, so it could drive itself.
Honestly, it would probably be one of the. It'd be a truck. I love my truck. I'm glad to have it, but it'd be one of the. There's a couple I've rode in. Friends of mine have. Man, you talk about the Cadillac of trucks, man. Golly. When I was young, everybody used to talk about getting a Cadillac, how good the ride was, the service was, dependability, value would stay. That's become trucks. America is a truck nation now. It's a truck nation. It's also a truck nation. And a lot of the people that's driving the trucks are the women. They love the trucks.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the trucks. And so truck sales are through the roof.
I wonder, and there's a lot more women now driving 18-wheelers too.
They are. I see them all the time.
You
all the time.
I could see Steve dating a woman that drove an 18-wheeler. She'd go around, kick his tires, tighten his lug nuts up.
Hang on.
Huh?
I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, I'm just saying. I could just see. I could see Steve being there. I'm gonna stop right there. Good morning, Steve. I feel the Lord.
If you go, we have a lot, and I'm thankful we have Clapper's really moved up for us as far as follows and stuff, and of course they don't come, they're not in our lives, but they do live shows within Clapper. But I've done many where I'm watching female truck drivers. Let me tell you, they some tough gals. They don't take no crap.
Oh my goodness. What was this one? Actually something that sucks about Cali is all the warehouses. I know everywhere has them, but here they're incorporated into the city. So every corner it feels like there's one. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I didn't learn. I'm learning something. I'm learning something about Steve too. I didn't know he carried a purse.
Well, there is something called the man purse.
That was called a fanny pack. Come on, dude. That's made for hauling fannies.
No, there's a lot of folks. If you look at the metros, and they've got their little. A lot of guys got used to carrying their laptop bags. Well, that kind of downsized now. They still might have like a tablet or something in there, but it looks more like a purse. And they do carry electronics in there, but it's become the man purse, and they carry it around. I mean, it's not the laptop bag anymore. You're being such a bag.
Yeah, like in Deadpool, the second Deadpool movie with Cable pulling his thing around. He kept calling it a man purse or whatever. That was pretty good.
Now the backpacks are big. That's still big, but there are a lot of folks that, and you'll see them come into meetings and people look at them with that. What you got there?
Yeah. Is that your pocketbook?
You still hear stuff like that. In certain
is that circles. A man purse you're wearing, or was your wife just happy to see you? I mean, there's all kind of stuff with that.
You remember way back in All in the Family, and Meathead goes, his wife gets him the man purse, and Archie has a fit. It's like, no man wears a purse. And then they come back, and the guys are whistling, and Gloria thinks they're whistling at her, and she goes, "That's no problem. I'm used to guys whistling at me." He said, "They're not whistling at you; they're whistling at me." And she opens the door and says, "Grow up."
That would be amazing in this day and age. Archie Bunker would never make it on TV now.
No, liberal heads would explode if Archie Bunker
They would.
Can you imagine him going to the View? I gave you a perfect segue. Go ahead and tell your thing, Rob. I'm going to do it because we're near the end of the show, and I'm going to be headed towards you. I might as well get out of the way now. So I gave you a softball. There you go.
Look, y'all, this is amazing. And just so y'all know, the View may have saved somebody's life yesterday. There was a guy that was been in a coma. His name was John, I think. But he'd been in a coma for like 6 months. He'd been in a bad car wreck. And they really didn't think he was going to make it. Well, when people are in comas, they think that they can still hear and stuff. So they turn the TV on in the room so there'd be some like background noise and stuff for him to listen to and stuff like that. But for 6 months, he'd been in this coma. And finally, the View came on that TV, and he got up and went and turned it off. Saved his life.
Sorry, folks. I just need to get that out of the way. He sprung that on me before the show started. I thought we might as well go there. Now it's out of the way. The rest of the week can be great. It's actually not that bad, but it's like, it's better than the arm on fire. I mean,
the firearm joke?
Yeah.
I hadn't told that one in a while. I'll save it.
You got 4 minutes if you want to spring it out there, Stephen.
I don't think I can tell that.
Just love to hear it again.
I don't think I could tell it in 4 minutes, Dave. It takes longer than that to set it up. Oh,
we're gonna have arrived. Well, the show will. This is what's going to happen. Is one day, Steve in his show is going to, and part at the end of the show when he does his bloopers and everything else, he's going to tell one of your jokes. He's going to be brave. He's going to. It's going to be just enough to make the cut, just enough. He's going to run it as a blooper though. He's going to say, "I heard this joke from Rob over at the Southern Fried," and he's going to roll it out there. And he's going to get all this hate mail and fan mail, but his follows and everything's going to go up. And you're going to get credit for this, even though it's going to be a negative. It's going to end up being a positive because publicity.
They're going to follow just to see if he'll tell it again. Steve, don't be afraid to retell them. Not everybody's listening all the time. You want to make sure the word gets out. You have to tell it multiple times. See, when Kamala was running for president, she kept repeating herself because she firmly believes that that you have to put something out there at least 3 or 4 times before people remember it, as they will. And she's from a middle. Well, so I'll stop.
Well, that's because time.
That is amazing. It's the same thing for me, but it was walruses, big old buck teeth hanging out. I'm just telling you.
Oh my gosh. I had flipped over to check on Instagram, and I flipped back, and I see you dying there, and I thought, "What happened? What happened?" I looked down. So I didn't see it when that popped in. I was over there just checking on my Instagram, folks, and I flipped back, and you're like pointing at the screen. I'm like, "What in the world?" And I looked down.
That was amazing. Thank you, Steve.
That's cool.
Apparently, I'm not the only one feeling ordinary this morning.
Oh, boy. Enjoy your day at work, Steve.
Well, today's a big travel day for Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming out of South Georgia. We're going to be hooked up. You going to come over here this evening and be on the show?
Well, that was the plan.
Absolutely.
I can either come in from the hotel or I can come over there.
Come on over here. We'll make room. I bet you we can do it right here.
Do I need to bring electronics, or are we both going off your camera?
Bring another camera.
Well, it'll be my laptop. I mean, I don't have
that'd be fine. Or you just log in and we'll figure it out. Ain't nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing but a thing. We got this. So
thanks, Steve. I'm gonna be thinking about that quote now for 5.5 hours as I'm headed south.
now his wife's going to be having him explain to him why she's a diamond in the rough.
She didn't hear that. She's still asleep.
Oh, I'll call her. You know she's going to watch the show, Dave, and she's going to heard you say she's a diamond in the rough. Y'all going to have plenty to talk about. Don't you worry about it.
By the way, folks, we're very appreciative of all the areas we are in. A lot of our programs are on audio. And I just want to give a quick shout out. You know, there's several that we're on and we're trying to get on more. And I actually listened to a couple of our shows yesterday, audio, and just let it run on the TV. And that was on iHeartRadio. But you can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple, Podchaser, Boomtown, and FM Player. Or Player FM. I may have got that backwards. There's several of them, and we're working on getting on a few more. These are great on the go things where you can listen to it. And it's interesting to listen to them on audio where you don't see us. And the audio was great. I let it run all night. I listened to just let the shows run on iHeartRadio all night long on TV. So, but we're appreciative, and we're on just about every stream you can be on, but we appreciate all the followers.
The audio is good now, but who wants to miss this?
Well, some people listen on the go, and I have a lot of people that say, "Hey, you're on Spotify, great," or Apple, or we just want to make it available. And there's times that if I'm going down the road, I don't want to be taking my eyes off the road to look at you. I would just listen to the audio part.
I've probably caused thousands of accidents. They better look over at me and go, "Oh, wow."
Do pray for us as we travel. Big football weekend. We'll talk about that. The first playoff games are going to start this weekend. I think Tennessee, Ohio State is on tap for this weekend. We'll talk about that. And tonight is Hump Day News, and it'll be the first, Lord willing, if we arrive safely, we trust and pray we will, me and Rob in the same studio.
Yes. Be a first time.
First time.
Sure. Yep.
Lord.
Well, we got this.
We
almost got it on up there. So
almost. And we'll drag Jeremy in too.
Yeah. Jeremy. Can we call him Jeremy?
We can. We call him.
He'd be Jeremy.
His nickname is Jeffrey.
His what?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey?
That's what he's called. That's what my sisters all call him, is Jeffrey. That's from way back. He's been that for 20 plus years, maybe 30. He's Jeffrey.
All right. Well, go get ready to go.
Oh, by the way, you got to give him a hard time. His daughters, because of me, it's my fault. They have a name for him too, because I did this as a joke one day. They call him Big Sexy.
Okay.
They love it.
I don't think I can call another man Big Sexy. I don't think that's going to work.
Well, you called Whoopi that.
No. Number one, no, I didn't. And number two, if I had, you're right, I would have been calling another man. Dave.
Oh, Rob. Shame on your mouth.
Don't you old Rob me. You just said the same thing. You just worded it different.
Thanks for tuning in the morning show. By the way, Cornbread Nation, January 15th. Southern Fried MAGA, the day President-elect Donald J. Trump is sworn in. New shows. New craziness.
Yes.
At the same old Robin Day.
Y'all have a great, wonderful day. Like, follow, subscribe. Don't want the floor kicked around, put it on a plate and eat it up. How about that? But yeah, Dave, safe travels, Dave. We'll see you here after a while.
Few hours.
All right. Everybody, salute. Have a great day. Get through this hump day.
He's crazy.
Who? No. No. What else? Now, go ahead and say something else now, because you were talking about calling me crazy and stuff. That's not very nice.
Well, once again. It's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.